Salve German learner, Michael here from SmarterGerman, and today I will walk you through one of my courses just to show you how simple and beautiful it is to work with SmarterGerman. First step, get enrolled. Good for you. My A1 to B2 courses are available for free, as you can see already in the menu here. I also have paid courses. Hopefully they will serve you well. They will support the free courses. To enroll, you choose your level. I will go through A1, but the principles that I will show you here, they apply to all my courses. But you will never have to enter your payment details for a free course. I click on the course, and there you see is the start screen. All you have to do is click on the big red button that says Start Next Lesson. I already am some lessons ahead, so I will not click that button, but you will just click this button here, and then you will get to the first lesson, which is Welcome to this course. And all you have to do is read the information on this page. Don't panic, most important advice. And when you're done, you click on Complete and Continue. It goes automatically to the next lesson. So you will realize on the left there is a progress bar and there is the lectures. You might be tempted to scroll up and down and jump and skip. Please never use the bar on the left to navigate. Always use this big button. Yeah? There's very few excuses to use this sidebar, so ideally do not touch. Yeah? So initially, I also show you a couple of things that will help you in case you encounter technical issues. Technical issues are rather rare with my courses, really, really rare. And most technical issues are solved by turning it off and on again, or by using Chrome, which, by the way, you will be prompted to do very clearly, in a way that you cannot miss. Some tools only work on Chrome. Please use Chrome. Yeah, 99.99% of all issues are solved by these two measures. And if you are a bit of a special case, you go through the other measures. Maybe copy them somewhere so you have access to them, even if you don't have access to the course, which is such a rare occurrence. Yeah. Now, I will introduce you to my tools, the techniques, to the philosophy by video, and also, of course, by text. And so let me, yeah, some videos are like this, like the one you just watched, and complete and continue. As simple as that. So, new technique, reading warm-up. I will actually talk about this just a little bit. So reading warm-up is what it says. It's a warm-up. It doesn't mean you need to understand a single word. You don't need to look up anything. You don't need to remember anything. All I want you to realize in this lecture is how much you actually already understand. So you look through this and you just see, oh, Berlin, yeah, I know Berlin. Huh? And then maybe you know Büro, ah yeah, Büro, okay. And then you know Detektivin, ah yeah, okay. Assistent, okay. So you go through and just the words you see. If you're lucky, you understand more. If not, it's just random words and it's difficult to make sense of them. That's fine. That's the warm-up. It's for you to really have a starting point that, damn, I understand nothing. Next step is about comprehension. And therefore, now you are allowed to look words up. And that's very easy with SmarterGerman. Currently, I'm using my own tool that allows you to click on a word. Let's say this one.
Scheint.
And it shows a translation and also speaks the word. But you see, appears, so.
Die Sonne.
Yeah, so, die Sonne scheint, the sun appears. Well, makes kind of sense, right? Maybe the sun rises, but this is not what it means. Maybe you are skeptical and you want to actually understand whether that's really what it means.
Die Sonne scheint.
So you saw what I did. I dragged the cursor over the three words so that they are translated together, because words change meaning in a given context. And together, this makes a lot more sense. Shining and shined, you can hear the similarity already. This is the proper translation. So please do not just highlight the whole thing. I think there's a limit as well. You see here, you cannot select more than 12 words in one go. Yeah. If you really don't understand anything, then yeah, sure, then highlight everything. But ideally, you just highlight the words you do not
Zwitschern.
know. Yeah.
Fröhlich.
And this is how you will get full comprehension of the text. And this is the goal, that after this lesson, you know the story, you know what's going on in English. You do not have to remember the German words yet. Now, currently we are working with our own tool, but soon I will recommend another tool that does something pretty much similar. So you have this little monster in the corner, you go here and you have 3 little buttons here. I go through them in a bit, maybe at the end. The V for vocabulary is the one that will show you the words that you highlighted. Now, unfortunately, this is not tuned with my presentation here, but it will ask you then, okay, do, what was do in German? And you have a sample sentence here, which you can even translate. Die eigenen, This is B2, so don't expect this to be clear. You can even have it read to you if you want. So if after reading the example, you know what is here, you test yourself and click. Yeah, of course, I knew. And if you're clear, you say, yeah, I got it. So it will be repeated a bit later. If you say not yet, it will be repeated sooner. It's a standard spaced repetition system like all the apps use nowadays. Yeah, I think Anki and Memrise definitely use that. Quizlet doesn't do that, which is why I do not recommend that. So you can work a little bit here and play around. If you have any issues with this tool, let me know. But it's very basic and it does the job. This is the job of reading comprehension. Next. See, always one button. And then we test you. Yeah, just a couple of things. I translate always the words that are a little bit outlandish for a beginner. I just want to see whether you really looked up the story, you remember what was the weather like and what's going on. And es war ein schöner Montagmorgen in Berlin. I know that sentence by heart, so let me click this one and see. Yeah, correct. And you go through 5 questions, just a little reminder of what the story was about. Then, let me go a bit further. Reading analysis. There's 3 videos per lesson, later fewer because they get shorter. These are quite long videos. Yeah, this one is 10 minutes. In these videos, I go through the full text of that lesson and explain every single word in it. Yeah. For some time, I will repeat certain explanations, but over time, I will repeat less and less because you know more and more. So no more need to explain everything from scratch again. And this will not only help you remember the story and the words, but it will also teach you patterns. It teach you a little bit of grammar, no need to remember much. Whatever sticks automatically, this is what you take with you. You can take notes if you want, but you never have to revise the news. Yeah, the taking notes focuses your mind, and therefore it helps you learning things, but reviewing notes is a waste of time in this case. You're not learning for a test, so don't review your notes. It's a beautiful exercise. It's quite unique. And I just love the way German and English are intertwined. And this will teach you in the end to read German texts and understand quite a bit of it without having learned the vocabulary yet. And what else do you want? Yeah, basically a kind of master key to the German language. Of course, not after the first lesson, it will take a bit, but I have 150 videos of these divided into 2 to 3 parts. My favorite of it all, the dictation tool, the dictation. You simply write down what you hear, and that's killing many people in the beginning because they challenge themselves too much. But I already say this in the tutorial. It's enough if you start with 3 sentences. And if it's really, really hard, even 1 sentence makes all the difference. So there is never the need to write the full text. Sure, if you're ambitious and it's fun, go for it. But it needs to be fun and it needs to be within your time frame. Yeah, you might have a little time budget. But this is a beautiful exercise. So all you have to do is play the audio and you see there's shortcuts. I click here, I click what is it? Control.
Es ist ein schöner Montagmorgen.
Control, Enter. I don't have to click with the mouse. Don't use the mouse, use shortcuts. Yeah? So, es ist ein schöner Montagmorgen. Es ist ein Schöner Montagmorgen. If you want to write the umlauts, there's a little trick, which is also given, of course. So you do the O and the slash, and then it turns into an umlaut. Montagmorgen, let's make this wrong. So you write 3 sentences, and when you're done, you click compare. Although actually you rewrite them, you follow the instructions here, because you can listen to it a few more times before you click compare, just to fill the gaps and correct things. But we don't have much time here. And then you see it is being compared. Yeah? So you can see your mistakes, and maybe you want to listen to it again just to see where you misheard.
Es ist ein schöner Montagmorgen in Berlin.
Ah, okay. Ist. Yeah, maybe now you can hear the t. And this is all you need to do. Yeah? You do this 4 times in total per lesson, so no worries, you will get there. The exercise just allows you to write the right words. If you want, you can later then listen to it again, and you see now it's correct. Yeah? Good. Dictation, beautiful exercise. So directly after the first dictation, you write a second one because you want to get things into your working memory. Yeah? You want to establish the knowledge. So after you've corrected your text and listened to it already a few times, you now see what's stuck with you. So ideally here you have already fewer mistakes. And that can only be if you do not write more than you wrote the first time, which is also in the instructions. It's all I say is in the instructions, but it cannot harm to hear it more several times. Yeah? I speak from experience. Users usually think they have to write the whole text. You do not have to write the whole text, and you stick to the same size, length of the text throughout one lesson. Next lesson you can push yourself, 1 more sentence. I, of course, talk about grammar. Grammar is beautiful, my favorite. So logical. German grammar is beautiful. Genders and all this stuff. So there is grammar exercises occasionally. There's a beautiful technique. I don't take this away from you. You have to work through this and you practice. And again, another test. Yeah? So you want to see, is wall masculine, neutral, or feminine? I explain all this, and you might wonder why I use English. I use English to make things crystal clear. There's no need to teach you in the German language. Absolutely no need. It's unnecessary in my professional and personal experience and to my best of knowledge. I studied this subject in and out. You do not need German as an instructional language. Yeah? You can learn German like this, but I'm not a fan. I prefer to teach via English. Then there's a couple of videos where I share experience, philosophy, a little bit of psychology, just to help you through this marathon, which it is, because it will take several months to get to a level that actually feels more relaxed. Yeah, for some people it might take years, up to 5 years. It's a language. Yeah? Children take 13 years to get good at it. Yeah, they can speak earlier, of course, but the full extent of what you hear here is the work of many, many years. Now, the preaching, another beautiful exercise, is basically a spoken pattern drill. This is pure grammar without grammar rules. You apply the grammar, you internalize it so that you can speak without thinking. Like my English now, I'm not thinking of any grammar rules. Yeah, they're all falling in place. And it's not that I have memorized or rehearsed these sentences and learned them by heart. I'm just applying grammar. Yeah, and this exercise will actually help you with this. Requires a bit of preparation, learn the genders, but that's something you can do on your own. And I always give you the instructions of what is expected. I give you help. Nothing here is too difficult for you if you take your time, if you follow my instructions. Nothing. Even if you've never spoken or heard a single word of German, this course will work for you. Yeah? You need to speak English though, or understand, not even speak. So the assisted preaching is a tool where you always have a pattern. You want to learn this pattern. This pattern, let me say, is teaching you the accusative without bothering explaining the accusative. So you just need to understand that when you look at the thing and you know that thing is masculine, all this will be explained, then you have to say einen. not just einen and not eine. And this is the simple pattern. So you have three possibilities, einen, eine, and ein, and you know exactly when to use them, and now you practice that without thinking. Initially, that will be very slow. Yeah? But if you practice this half an hour, 40 minutes, it gets better. Let's just take a look at the first one.
Ich sehe einen Stuhl.
So you need to allow the microphone, and you see it writes down what I say. And then it will highlight it as wrong. And it gives you then the correct answer. So let me record the right answer. Ich sehe keinen Stuhl. This line is my line.
Ich sehe einen Stuhl.
And then it repeats this and it wants me to say the next sentence here. Yeah? Ich sehe keinen Stuhl. Yes. And you do so 10 times and then
Ich sehe ein Handy.
10 times and then it switches roles. And then you start with A and B. And you see here handy is here and you know the gender from the exercise before. Beautiful. And of course it gets more difficult over time. But this is A1 first lesson, so yeah, be kind to yourself. You will see we have two preachings here, an assisted and a manual one. You only have to do one. Which one you do is up to you. I created the assisted preaching because it's simpler, it's nicer, because it's sort of a conversation. This one is more of a monologue with yourself. You play both roles, but it's also nice. Yeah, and maybe it's easier for you. You play. You only need to do one or the other. You can also do both if you enjoy it and want to practice the speaking part more. This is one of the most powerful exercises in the course. So I just skip through. You can check everything. I have sessions on pronunciation. There's 12 pronunciation lessons per course. They're always the same. I'm currently expanding them with exercises. You will see beautiful stuff. And listening. Simply, you listen to the text that you have worked through. You've already read it a couple of times. You've already done the dictation and heard it and written it. And now you listen to it again, and you might feel like, oh, I've learned this by heart. I'm not really listening. Doesn't matter. You still can hear what is there. It's not just about learning what is being said, but also how it is being said. So if you already know the meaning of the words, you have capacity now to listen to how are they saying it. You learn to listen in German. You learn to expect what comes next. And this is a crucial ability to have, because you have to make predictions fast and then you have to correct them occasionally, but you get better and better at predicting so that you need less energy understanding German. Very powerful exercise. Reading analysis, second part after a certain time. And then we have a beautiful writing tool. 3 levels. Your aim is to get from easy to hard. The difference is that with easy, the text will be in front of you most of the time. Yeah. So you just type it off the screen. Very simple. So, sehr geehrter Herr Ehrlich. Yeah. This is simple. Not much of a challenge. And you need to correct the mistake and then you go. And you see it stays here. Vielen Dank für Ihre Einladung. Okay. So if you want to know what you're typing here, it's not that easy, but easy enough. You install the DeepL app and it's available with a shortcut. So I think it's only Command-Shift-D and it's right in front of you. I haven't left the course. And you see here, that's the translation. Yeah. If you want, you can even have people speak it, but it doesn't sound good, I think.
Sehr geehrter Herr Herrlich, vielen Dank für Ihre Einladung.
Horrible, so don't listen to this. It's good enough, but these are typical phrases that you will need in your A1 exam. But even if you don't write an exam, these are useful phrases to know, to understand. So work your way through this. Let's do this again and let's go to hard. And then you will see, oh, the text goes away. So you need to remember how it's typed. Yeah. And it will correct you, right? And then, okay. And here you go. So this is a bit more of a challenge. You do so until you can write it in difficult mode. You're almost done. Interactive exercises are basically gap tests, close tests, and you will find the sentences from the text that you've worked with already quite a lot, and you just type in the word that you think is in here. If you're not sure, you have a little hint to be. Es ist. Let's see whether that's correct. That's correct. Next. You can also give up and have it show your answer. Here's your answer. Yeah. Most of the time there will be just the translation. I think in B1 we have a little bit more of a helping attitude here. These are among the most powerful tests, by the way, and in A1 it's a bit of a challenge, so that's why we take the sentences you already know quite well. Couple of extra videos, watch them, they're interesting and show me 10 years ago, for that sake. Another dictation. Now the third dictation is after, let's say, an hour break, because it takes maybe an hour to get here. And now we see how much of the first two dictations still sticks in your memory, because we want that information to stick to your long-term memory. Again, make sure to only write the phrases you wrote before. Do not write more just because you feel like it. Very important, because you want to compare your performance between dictation 1, 2, and 3. Next. My favorite part, the mind-pleasing notebook. You check it out. Occasionally I share some songs with you. People always ask for the alphabet. It's not that you need the alphabet, but this is a cute song, so go for it. A friend of mine created 10 songs for me, and I created a couple of more songs afterwards with AI. No comparison. My friend is a professional musician and it's just a genius. Really beautiful. So watch it, sing along, enjoy the music. Music will help you to connect emotionally with the German language. And if it teaches you the ABC, well done. Now, at the end of lesson 1, I don't do this in every lesson, but just for the first lesson that you see actually how much you have learned, you read this text again and you see how much you understand. And ideally, you share with us how has your comprehension increased. So beginning was maybe 20%, now it's 80%. Yeah. As long as you still understand the full story, you continue. If you haven't increased by more than 20%, send me a message and we look at what went wrong, because honestly, for 20 to 80 is a pretty good increase. If you're already at 70 in the beginning, the question is whether you're really A1, but 70 at the beginning, 90 later, that's also fine. But if you start low, I expect you to triple or quadruple your performance by the time you reach the end of lesson 1. And there's always a conclusion. This is Sabine and Stefan. As you can see with the coffee flag, you will learn that soon. I create some songs right now just to play around. I love them. It's just fun. And it will maybe help you establish an emotional connection to the story on top of the joy you have reading it and understanding it. Let me play the first 10 seconds.
Es ist ein schöner Montagmorgen in Berlin.
So this is the first line of the story. Es ist ein schöner Montagmorgen in Berlin, and she just mellowly sings along. And it's the first song that you might understand fully in German. That was basically the structure of every lesson until the end. Of course, every lesson there is a new text. The story continues. You want to know what happened and who did it. And this concept I follow in A1, A2, B1. In B2, you have individual text stories about Germany. Just that you learn a bit about culture. In C1, we go a bit deeper, longer text, because C1 is mainly for university preparation. But C1 is a paid course anyhow. And so on until you reach lesson 54. There will be a few more techniques over time, especially in A2 and B1. The writing will change and the presentation will come. You will speak more freely. So gradually you will get exercises that help you to expand your knowledge and to let go of the tight structure of my courses. That's the aim. The aim is that you are an independent learner and that you break out of the given structure. Now, two more things. You have this little monster here that might change at one point. Don't get attached to it. So we looked at the vocabulary trainer. You can always click on it and go out. And then you have a G for grammar. So here, if you want to know what is grammar, maybe you can even enter individual words. No, okay. Dative, yeah? You want to learn about dative. And then you see there is 4 lessons about the dative. For beginners, possibly it is the first one. And then you get to the video of that lesson. Yeah, whether you have done A1 with me or not, even if you are in B2, you have access to this tool. You read everything. This is an overview, and it brings your grammar up to date. And you go back, and then you can search for other things. You can also just look at the structure here. You look at the master classes. My master classes are beautiful. They are longer lessons, hour and a half long, about certain topics that I found really important or difficult, like the word ear. That's for advanced people. So don't jump ahead if you're A1. Yeah, this is more for the more advanced learners. And the last button is the C. That actually shows you my community. And you see the first thing you see is troubleshooting measures in case a video doesn't play. I told you, use Chrome, yeah, and turn off your VPN. Now you see here a couple of channels on the sidebar. You just play around and you might be able to log in. The community is a platform where people that pay a monthly subscription to support me and all the others can ask questions. Anyone else can read there, no problem. But if you pay for the monthly subscription, you can ask a question. I see that you're a paying member and I will respond. If you're not a paying member, I very likely will not respond, because I need to keep this business running and I really want my courses to stay free. Yeah. And it's relatively cheap. It's $10 a month for my personal support here. You type, I respond. The support memberships are not necessarily only for this. They are there to support everyone else. So if you can spare a tenner a month, occasionally even, yeah, please consider it. Yeah, it would really make many people happy. Right now I have 30,000 people within the first 6 weeks or 7 weeks of this project. Over 30,000 people have enrolled in my courses. That's madness. Yeah, I hope that one day it will be 1 million, but that depends on how well you spread the news and maybe how well you support me financially, if you can afford it. Yeah, don't feel bad if you cannot do it. It's okay. Good. That was the community. You can always just click outside of the box and you're back in the course. You do not have to leave my course, not even for looking up words. So if you want to look up a word here and it doesn't show automatically, you just click the shortcut for DeepL and it gives you the translation. And click out and you are back in the course. As simple as that. It doesn't get more beautiful, more simple. This is, in my professional opinion, more than enough material for you. You do not need necessarily other stuff. Maybe for motivation, an easy reader here and there. You want to listen to some stuff in the background, not consciously. That's also okay. And the higher you get, I hope that you will consume more real-world material. Yeah, no need to watch YouTube teachers or something like that. It's all in here. Why do you want to search around and fiddle around if you have everything in one place? I hope you like it. Let me see if there's anything else I can show you. The settings, autoplay, autocomplete. Yeah, one more thing. So if you have enrolled up here, you have your profile, you can do these. If you click on membership and subscriptions, but you don't have a membership or subscription, nothing will show here. Yeah? Currently I only have this. Interesting that it shows this. Maybe I tried a subscription model once, but normally my paid courses will not appear here because they are not subscriptions and they are not memberships. Yeah, they will appear here in purchase history, and this is also where you can find your receipt. You can change your credit card details. Let's hope mine doesn't show. Yeah, you have to log in again. I don't do this now. Yeah, maybe your address can change. Emily Smith, genau, that's me. And you can contact me here, but you can also just go to SmarterGerman.com and then you send me a message. As simple as that. Or you go to the bot here and you see get in touch. But before you get in touch, ask your question. Duration. How long does the course take? How long? How many hours should I study? How long does the course take? Try 2-3 ways to find the answer to your question. It's all in here already, as you can see. Yeah, save me some time because it's quite time consuming to answer the same question again and again. And if you don't find what you're looking for, you just share your name, email, message. Make sure your email is written correctly, otherwise I have no means to reach you. And this is it. Welcome to Smarter German. Hope you enjoyed this little presentation. Hope you will enjoy my courses. And if you do, please share the news with the world. There's one more thing. Sorry. Occasionally, I will show you a little bit of advertisement. This is what it looks like. And here's a couple of ways how you can support my project. Yeah, you will not only support me and my family, but you will also support, as I said, currently 30,000, hopefully one day 100,000, if not 1 million users that can study with my course for free. Yeah, and that's because you have a tenner to spare. You can even spend $1.99, yeah, here and there, whenever you have it. Instead of drinking coffee, think of Smarter German, think of all the beautiful people that you could then practice your German with at one point. Yeah. So you play around with this and you figure this out and you click on it and you get sent to a page like this. This is the membership I was talking about. This is when you want to talk with me. And this is when you have a few euros to spare. There is a little secret here. If you go to the very end, I will not give this away. Yeah. So anyone who spends more than $49.99 will get a little surprise, and those that make it a monthly subscription will get another beautiful surprise. Yeah? Hopefully one day one of you is rich enough to find out what this is. Okay, now that's it. I wish you a wonderful day, whatever is left of it, and I hope to one day be your teacher and to hear you speak beautiful German. Lots of fun.